Hey guys, it's a Marvel movie.
Yay!
That wasn't done by Disney.
Huh? So, like X-Men.
No.
Deadpool?
Nope.
But then that means...
No. Is it Fantastic Four?
It's Fantastic Four. Yeah. Cinema Sins just got a hold of this. The new Fantastic Four that just got released, that got all the bad negativity in terms of reviews. And
I actually have to say, I've not seen this movie, and I don't know anyone who has.
I don't really care to see this movie.
My cousin Zach has. He was excited going into it.
Why?
Because he doesn't have time to read reviews or anything.
Fair.
He's just a comic book fan because of his job and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's a comic book fan, and he went into it with the best intentions, walked out of it, and immediately just started swearing.
Just like threw up everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't throw up. He just started swearing very profusely at how stupid it was.
Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is that nobody really understands how to make a Fantastic Four movie except for Brad Bird.
Yeah.
Because Brad Bird made The Incredibles, which is basically the Fantastic Four movie we've all wanted.
Yes, it is.
Because the thing about the Fantastic Four is it's not, superhero action. No, it's the family dynamic.
That's what drives it.
Yeah, the family dynamic is, that's the thing that sets it apart. And that's the thing that nobody who has made a Fantastic Four movie ever seems to get.
Yeah, and here's the thing. This film had a lot of hype behind it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. The guy who directed it, Josh Trank, did Chronicle. Chronicle, I thought, was a great movie. And plus, it's an origin story, discovering their powers and everything. He got a lot of good actors. He got Rooney Mara. He got Michael B. Jordan. He got Miles Teller, Jamie Bell. He got a lot of great actors. But from what I hear, the studio interfered with this so much. They pretty much kicked him out of the cutting room and said, "We'll take it from here."
Which is ridiculous.
And he tried to have his name removed from it entirely. And based upon what's been heard, or what I've heard about it, I understand.
Yeah.
So without further ado, we have the Cinema Sins, Everything Wrong with Fantastic Four 2015 in 17 minutes or less right here. Here we go.
So they're not just going to show the whole movie? Because I feel like that's probably more appropriate.
I don't think they want to torture us that much.
Fair.
Fox and Marvel, they always do great work together.
Ever since I was 3, I wanted to play quarterback for the New York Giants.
Aspiring to mediocrity. The prop master put an apple on this teacher's desk because this film had no prop master, and someone just went with the cliches. Also, to make the teacher look like even more of a Reed-hating asshole.
I call it a biomatter shuttle.
AKA transporters from Star Trek. Also, Fantastic Four reboot wastes time with Kid Reed Richards, a backstory that precisely tells us he's been thinking about the biomatter shuttle since he was a kid. It's a jump back in time so wasteful, I wonder why they didn't start with a recreation of the Big Bang.
Once I test on biological materials,
Movie spends a lot of time on young Reed trying to convince me that a 10-year-old could ever be this smart yet still be in public school.
Hey, clobbering time.
So the future Thing got this catchphrase from his abusive asshole brother? I wonder what Jack Kirby might have to say about this representation.
I'm just looking for a power converter.
Reed is an uber genius child, but his morals are shit as he tries to steal the power converter before the 5-minute mark. Also, why didn't he just go to the Tashi station? I realize Reed's family is poor, but this is supposedly 2007, according to the movie, the year the iPhone came out, and 2 years after YouTube debuted, but he's still using a 1996 computer for some reason, and it still works well enough to power his bullshit matter transporter.
Stand back a little.
How much further back can he really go at this point, though? If there's anything I know about New York Jets fans who wear Jets caps and have Jets pennants on their walls, it's that they absolutely love college football contests between UConn and Virginia. Also, isn't this a school night? Didn't we see young Reed Richards at school, followed by Ben later that night working at the junkyard? This very game was played on October 13th, a Saturday, and maybe the movie jumped ahead to Saturday without telling us, but this movie.
Where'd the rocks come from? From the same place the car went to. Where is that? I don't know yet.
Okay, first of all, how do you do this experiment without any idea where the car might go? Are you Tesla from The Prestige? Because that was set 100 years prior to this, and you're smarter than God. Second of all, how do you know the car didn't turn into those rocks through some scientific transmogrifier accident? Third of all, this movie is starting off telling me a young child built a Star Trek transporter on his own, but has no idea where it sends shit. I haven't even seen the main cast yet, and this movie is testing my patience. Movie finally begins after a 7-minute preview for the movie Explorers. Wow. Also, this movie might have been badass if it had literally jumped ahead in time 7 years every 7 minutes of the film. Alas, this is the only time it does that. Have you ever seen a science fair with so many participants using the exact same trifold display?
Actually,
Also, this entire first
yeah,
row of science
I have.
projects here looks completely devoid of students, almost as though they were thin on extras for the day or something.
Shall I alert the fire department?
Why does high school Reed have any continued interaction with his 5th grade teacher?
Me and my associate Ben have been working on it every day since 5th grade when we launched the beta version in my garage.
You could have started the movie here.
Yeah.
The model
Yeah.
car, please, Ben.
I don't have a model car.
Give me a f***ing break. You mean these two assholes who are obsessed with this science project forgot to bring a model car to the presentation? Stealing model airplanes from children. Absolutely no one is startled when this backboard shatters, almost like they were expecting it.
Or perhaps even from the Sahara.
disqualified.
We're not.
Science project that clearly works and is amazing is disqualified because Reed's 5th grade teacher is a dick.
I don't see any real science here.
And yet you've been teaching it for years.
By the way, you know who the teacher is?
USA!
You're a dick.
I recognize him. I
Cameras
can't
capture
place
child
him.
That
actor
is
casually
Dan
talking to Miles
Castellaneta,
Teller.
aka
We've
Homer
gone so
Simpson.
far as to send matter to another dimension, but we haven't been able to maintain a field long enough to bring that matter back.
What is a government scientist doing at a science fair? They're really hoping to find that one kid who mastered interdimensional travel so they can finish their own work? Also, government corporate secret science dude spills all the beans to this high school kid he just met, who, for all he knows, has a blabbermouth.
I think you've cracked interdimensional travel.
Sweet. You're one of the judges, right? Also, somewhere, someone thought, you know what the best way to reboot the Fantastic Four would be? Science fair.
We found the same thing you did.
How do you know what he... Oh, forget it. I'm clocking out at the goddamn 10-minute mark. Movie sets new record for pissing me off in the shortest amount of time. Also, is this the first time Reed has succeeded? Surely he had some measure of success before coming to the science fair with his project. So why didn't these obviously big brother government corporate peeps come spook him into joining them well before the science fair?
Yeah.
Like after his first successful trial in the garage, for instance. They aren't literally scoping out random high school science fairs for new talent, are they? They're specifically here for him, right? Here's yet another comic book skyscraper I'm supposed to slobber over. And
Yeah,
honestly,
Baxter
I'm just
Building.
kind of skyscrapered
yes.
out, guys.
What's your name? Reed.
Reed doesn't give his full name, or even his last name first, and instead assumes his first name is all these guys need, which is stupid.
Richards. Yes, of course. We've been expecting you.
But movie then redeems Reed by having this asshole actually know who he is by first name only. I guess they wanted to pump the lore of Reed Richards a bit by having him be heard of, but this scene plays out clumsy as a moose on skates. These guys just got to this room, yet there are pictures hung up all over the wall and a f***ing bedspread on the bed. Aren't they in the wrong room? Wait, Ben didn't get to come here too? This is a roommate and only Reed is getting a scholarship? Movie f***s Ben right in the ear. Why did Reed stack 20,000 leagues under the sea with all these chemistry books?
Victor Von Doom is on here.
He started this project.
Despite the fact that Victor's shown instability in the past, and the fact that Reed is the missing piece they need, and the fact that his name is Victor Von Doom, Dr. Storm thinks they need him on this project.
I'm seriously glad I never saw this
Let's
movie.
see,
This
classical
is-
music, a series of security cams,
This'll be
a
enough.
nearly totally dark room, and of course playing violent video games. Yep, he's a villain. So I know that Reed's idea needs some work, a little smoothing out, but don't they have all the information they need now? But this movie's gonna make it out like they need months to make this machine work.
Rudimentary, elementary.
I would have removed 100 sins if we found out Von Doom was reading a thesaurus.
Elementary is basically a child's drawing.
Of a thing he got to work that you couldn't get to work. God, why do movies feel the need to write characters this way? You're not the savior here. You're the guy who got close but couldn't seal the deal, but now there's a guy who did, and we think maybe your previous experiments might shed some light. That's it.
People running the earth are the same ones running it into the ground, so maybe it deserves what it's got coming to it.
Dr. Doom over here.
Did you guys feel that? I think we were actually punched in the nose with obviousness. I'm actually bleeding. Also, villain hates human beings because we're all awful assholes cliche. So we've got Norman Wilson and Wallace from The Wire playing father and son in this movie. And it just makes me wish I was watching The Wire. In fact, I think I will watch The Wire.
Well done.
Fantastic Four is. Or the Fast and the Fan Four Stick. Hero at the beginning of the movie who enters a street race suddenly has car trouble cliche. How much do I love this street race? Let me count the ways. 1.
Were you racing again?
What is this, Big Hero 6? The Fast and the Furious? The Phantom Menace? Meaningless montage full of people building things we had no clue what they are, writing stupid shit on a dry eraser board, and looking into microscopes. The speedy construction of this thing would be really impressive if it didn't look fake as shit. Look, everyone
Yeah, it looks
knows when you
pretty
put
fake.
together a team of young geniuses, you need more than one hot girl. Otherwise, someone's gonna get jealous and turn evil after she falls in love with one of the other dudes.
We're finished.
I mean, this was after a day, right? Here's how to get the thing back to Earth. Oh, okay, we're done. At least that's how I imagine it. Maybe this really did take months. Also, if they were really finished, how is it that no one told Victor about it until now? Obvious leftover Rise of the Planet of the Apes effects were copied and pasted into this movie.
Yep.
What you are in effect seeing is someone clicking Control-C and Control-V.
Organic test commencing.
Jesus, you can't try with a rat first? Or a fern? This is an organic test, not a primate test.
I'm okay with it.
You would be.
You
What?
would, yeah.
You send a monkey to another dimension and somehow expect video to travel however millions of light years back to you in real time? You do know that even light takes a long time to travel at space, right? The f***? Here's where I
minutes
wish
in
the
our
movie
solar
had taken a
system.
weird turn and made the monkey get whatever superpowers these asshole humans get when they go. But no one would find out until after
Wait,
the
that's
humans
just
is gone and they come back to find
Dexter's
Super Monkey
Lab.
terrorizing the Earth
Yeah.
and they have
Yeah.
to fight
Yeah,
it.
dial M
That's
for
well
monkey.
played, man.
Looks like we're next.
After one successful test? You betcha.
I think it's time to start coordinating with our friends at NASA.
The evil corporate guy decides they need to send astronauts instead of the people who built it. This sounds like some horrible short-sighted decision, but he's absolutely f***ing right.
Yeah.
You guys know who built the Apollo spacecraft? Went to the moon?
So Doom's going to make this speech about how the people who built the Apollo spacecraft didn't get any glory. But the people who built the Apollo spacecraft also didn't have test pilot expertise like Neil Armstrong. I mean, why are you qualified to shoot yourselves into space anyway? People who make baseballs aren't Mike Trout either.
Unless we go first.
Yeah.
Scientists decide to personally run the machine at their own peril cliche.
Oh, yeah.
Also, let's think about this for a minute. They do this because they want the glory, but do you think this company they work for is even going to acknowledge it? Hell no. They'll be fired, maybe even go to jail, and they'll still get NASA to run the machine. And you can't tell me these smart people decided to do this because they got a little drunk. Even worse, our so-called heroes, people of science, decide to drag totally out of his element Ben Grimm into this launch. Just like every comic book movie, the heroes just happen to have a perfectly sized suit for the guy they called in to join them just an hour ago. Wait, they didn't call her too? For real? Ben gets to go before her? These guys are assholes. She worked just as hard as they did. Maybe they thought she'd be against it, but that's exactly why you guys need to ask her anyway, quads.
Yep.
Somehow, Sue didn't get any other warnings about the machine until the quantum gate was active. These doors open automatically to let them out in the new dimension, even though they did no such thing for the monkey on the trial run. The monkey didn't even get a space helmet.
Hey, Victor, I think you should see this.
You better come take a look at this cliche. Also, putting the American flag in the ground causes bright green cracks to emanate from the surface, and none of these guys thinks, maybe we should head back.
Nope. I'm good.
The guy who loves to street race is the one asshole with a fear of heights. When did all these nerds get rock climbing skills? There's so much nope going on right now that I wonder if these guys could even be considered geniuses
really
anymore.
dumb.
Movie steals the friends go to someplace dangerous and touch something that will give them superpowers thing from Chronicle. These guys are scientists, right? Why would any of them think that they should approach this definitely alien energy pond? Are you f***ing serious?
We can't leave him.
You did just see him green melt, right? Even with all the stuff going on, I don't know where this fire came from. It's been nothing but green goo explosions since this all started. I also don't know how fire decides to wrap around Johnny and turn him into a superhero instead of pure ash, but hey, that's the kind of movie we're watching, right?
Oh my god.
Exactly. Ben turned into a stone man because rocks went into his capsule. Johnny turned into a fiery guy because fire got in his capsule. But apparently Reed Richards turned into a stretch guy because I can't figure it out, really. Thankfully for the plot, enough alien world essence spilled out into the room upon their return to also infect Sue with
So she
superpowers.
didn't even go with
them?
them?
And she's invisible because love, I guess? Cut to black, the editor's best friend. Damn, this movie cuts to black a lot.
We're analyzing what happened to you. Whatever it is, we can find a way to reverse it.
Unkeepable implied promises. Also, almost an hour into this 1 hour 39-minute movie, and we are still just wrapping up the origin of their powers bullshit.
Wow. Yeah, that's terrible.
Ben's reveal as the Thing is watered down heavily by the fact that we saw his ass in a fairly well-lit room just a minute ago. Nothing of note happened until a year later.
Another dimension that our scientists have taken to calling Planet Zero.
No, they haven't. Surely they would have called this the Baxter FF4 or Dirty Sex Pleasure Boob before going to Planet Zero.
Yeah.
We have the direct link.
Awesome. I know bureaucracy takes a while, but you're just now asking for permission to send more people back to the superpower planet? Are you saying it took that long to rebuild the machine? 'Cause bullshit.
2,000 meters in 6 seconds. New record.
The movie spares us on how these characters began to cope with their abilities in favor of going straight to the fact that they're working for the government. No questions asked. But in a reboot, where you bother to go all the way back to Reed's childhood to tell this story, why leave that out? If that's the type of thing you'd cut out, why not just start this movie right at the point where Reed gets accepted to Baxter and have them be the Fantastic Four within 15 minutes?
Your balance is getting better.
Why are you on fire right now? Do you prefer being on fire while having conversations? Either these government people are forcing Ben to watch his in-the-field work on video, or he chooses to. Either way, a sin from us.
I can't finish it without Reed.
Reed's not coming back. He abandoned us, left us here.
Yeah, how exactly did he just leave the facility without anyone seeing it? The last time we saw him, he was here, but we don't know how he escaped or even how he urinates without his penis drooping into the water.
The FBI, CIA, and NSA have blips of Reed here and there, but they can't seem to see.
No pattern.
What the hell do you mean? You mean Reed's learned how to be a stealth super spy since he left the building?
Is he looking for anything else?
He was searching for him.
You know, him. As in the guy you should instinctively know as Ben Grimm.
Is he looking for anything else?
He was searching for him.
Turn on the music to find Reed's patterns. She's gonna find Reed by listening to music. Too many seconds of her glancing at 15 monitors and figuring out where Reed is. Oh, come on. Like, none of the top minds in the military at the super-secret facility searching for Reed could have found this f***ing pattern on their own?
Yeah,
Reed reflexively looks back for anyone on this deserted road with reverse projection x-ray vision who could possibly see him subtly change his face in the car. Also, it would have been interesting to actually see him learning this skill, but movie forces it down your throat with 30 minutes left. Reed borrows heavily from the Hulk, but that's a different studio, so who the f*** cares? He was born March 14th, 1986. The movie started in 2007 with Ben in 5th grade, remember? That's some serious physical and mental stunting for a 21-year-old. It's definitely Jamie Bell's birthday, but not the f***ing characters.
Captain Nemo. That's him.
Isn't it great that he loved that book so much he made a huge point to tell you about it? And why such an obvious name anyway? This probably should have killed the f*** out of Reed. Somehow Ben, despite his deformity, is still convinced to turn on his lifelong friend by the military that is obviously just using him. Movie rips off Star Trek Into Darkness. It's about this time in the movie that I'm wondering, shouldn't Tim Blake Nelson be playing the leader by now? I saw him get infused with the gamma radiation in The Incredible Hulk, so...
Different studio.
I did listen to you, and that's what got me here in the first place.
Wait, did Dr. Franklin tell everybody to get drunk and then use a machine that had been tested one time just so they could all get some artificial glory? I missed that scene. How did Victor get a Jedi costume while on the other planet?
Victor?
Not possible.
Oh, shut the f*** up with your not possible. How many tens of thousands of dollars did you use to film somebody saying not possible in a science fiction movie? That's our job, assholes.
Yeah.
Not possible.
It really doesn't seem like it should be possible, I agree.
I want to talk to him.
Nobody talks to him until I do. Confine the others to their quarters.
You mean, confine the other superpowered others to their quarters? I mean, if they don't wanna, how? Knowing what the other dimension did to Reed and company after a few minutes, sure, seatbelts will definitely hold this guy in place. We have 14 minutes left in the movie, and we're just now being introduced to Dr. Doom.
If this world must die, so that mine may live, so be it.
Why did you even bother coming back with the crew if you loved it so much on your world? Were you faking injury to get back to Earth just so you could then go back to this planet and do what you could have done before they took you back? And that's another thing. Why does the machine necessarily have to go to this planet every time anyway? What specific coordinates is it set for? I guess the two planets are connected in space-time, but f*** you, I don't like it. Darth Vader called. He'd like to know how you're more powerful than he is, and yet still take downable by the Fantastic Four. Imagine if this was the first act. This would be on the verge of being a cool movie. Instead, I get the sneaking suspicion this whole movie is a first act, just in case it was popular enough to get a sequel. First off, what the f*** is Johnny thinking? He doesn't even know where Doom is, or what he's capable of. This guy was sequestered in his room when everything happened. Second off, how did Sue react so quickly?
Out of my way, Franklin. I'm going home.
This is your home, son.
What? Just let him go back and this is all over? For reals? And you don't just let it happen?
Only the power to create a new world.
More CGI budget is saved with the decision to have Victor's lips not move after his transformation. Brilliant. Victor once again mind powers an enemy across the room, but will still somehow be defeated in this movie.
Promise me. Look after each other.
I see Dr. Franklin got that Dr. Doom attack that lets you say final words before dying.
Pulling everything into the other dimension!
Reed Richards is also known as Niles' narrator in some Marvel adaptations, or just plain literal Miles Teller. Oh good, the final fight is going to take place in a faraway dimension we know nothing about. Awesome. Should make for some interesting physics, I guess.
The matter from Earth is being converted to energy!
Thanks, Reed.
We need to stop Victor! He's the source!
No f***ing way. Again, Victor seems utterly omnipotent. Also, you stole that from The Incredibles. For the final fight, instead of just green mind-blasting Reed into space, Victor decides to throw rocks at him, and then fist-fight him, because this shit ends in 13 minutes, including credits, and only Victor seems to care about getting us to the finale, even if it means his own stupid-ass demise.
We can't beat him. He's stronger than any of us.
Yeah, he is. But he's not stronger than all of us.
He clearly is. You guys in tandem took a huge ass beating a minute ago. Instead of flying up, Victor takes the slow-ass rock elevator, as though he's unaware this movie only has 12 minutes left of total runtime. Also, rock elevator. Also, you stole that from Scar and the Lion King. And you didn't even sing a song to earn it. Guy who was mind-owning everyone just a few minutes ago somehow has to resort to throwing rocks at his opponents on his home planet.
Now!
Alright! It's clobbering time!
Despite the fact that he turns visible, gives away his position, and is at least 10 to 20 feet away from Doom, Doom stands there and takes this punch. No, seriously, what just happened? Is the movie going to even try to explain? These four somehow fly back to Earth via the direct-to-other dimension link Doom oh, f it. Roll the credits already. This shit is beyond unsequelable already. Just shut it down. Thank God black holes take forever to produce, even though untold energy was hitting the planet a minute ago.
While the world may not know what you did to save it, the men and the women in this room do.
That's why we prepared our usual box of croissants, cinnamon rolls, and enchiladas. Or is that a tray full of shaved turkey?
What if we say
want
no?
some cinnamon rolls right now.
Yeah, I could eat a cinnamon roll right now.
Say yes.
Military agrees to the Fantastic Four demands because the thing is scary.
I think that the four of us should have a name.
You know, for marketing purposes having nothing to do with the work we came here to do.
How about two guys, a girl, and the thing that nobody wanted?
Artificial rivalry between Johnny and Ben is artificial.
Gotta say, it's fantastic.
Say that again?
What an asshole. Like you need it said again, as if you misheard it, or need it repeated for dramatic reveal or some
It's fantastic.
Yes, it is. Guys, I got it. Ready?
Yeah. Wow, both this movie and Ultron ended on a not completing the line moment. Can't call either one a ripoff of the other. They both came out the same summer. But still, this is some bullshit, right? Pretty sure it is. Also, I guess they're rolling credits.
Man.
Still lower than I expected.
Okay,
franchise aside.
Shut it down! That's it!
That was rough.
That was rough.
Super glad I didn't see that movie.
Yep.
Do they have? Does this one have any bloopers at the end of it?
I think they do. Let's check and see.
But yeah, glad I didn't spend money on that.
Yep.
Man.
This was
so. It
The sum of
really.
the square roots of any two sides of an isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the remaining side.
I think you've cracked interdimensional travel.
Space, the final frontier.
True.
Galaxy Quest.
Yep.
What did I tell you? 88 miles per hour! 5, 4, 3, 2.
It's the only chance we have to figure out what happened to us and reverse it.
Is it worth it? Let me work it. Down, flip it and reverse it.
I'm an adult.
I don't need your handouts. I'm an adult. Victor, don't do this.
There is no Victor.
There is no Dana.
There is only Zoo. What an a-hole.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the worst version of Victor Von Doom I've ever seen in my life.
The thing is, I can't figure out how it took like an hour and a half just to get through the origin story. Basically, I mean, if that is.
I mean, here's the
accurate.
thing. Like, all right, Fantastic Four. You know, the one before this that I'm going to go out on a limb and call the good one.
Tolerable.
Well, of the two.
Yes.
So that one, they got through the origin story pretty quick.
Yeah, they did.
You know, they handled it okay. And in this one, it took them an hour out of an hour and 39 minutes.
No, it took them an hour and 39 minutes out of an over 2-hour movie.
Really?
You got to be kidding me! Is that long?
That's wow. That's way worse.
Man.
Look at this. They chucked 100.
Running time 100 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was over 2 hours.
An hour out of an hour and 39 minutes.
Jeez.
They just.
Well, we obviously didn't miss anything, guys.
Thank goodness.
Clearly not.
Hmm.
I mean, it's just.
That is unfortunate.
I mean, at least in the other ones, you know, Doctor Doom, you know, has crazy electric powers. You know, I'm waiting for the Victor Von Doom that's actually, you know, a decent character where, you know, the theory is he hides his mask because, you know, he's so horrible looking, but he has just like this little scar right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, hey, is actually still a technological genius, but also uses magic because, you know, why not play both sides here?
I was going to say, my biggest thing was that this Victor Von Doom was just an uninteresting amalgamation of just cliches.
Yeah.
Whereas Julie McMahon actually had charisma.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, all of these characters have the potential to be incredibly interesting, especially, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think the casting choices in the other movie, you know.
Yeah, they were pretty good, but
they did. I mean, they didn't do a poor job at all. I mean,
Von Doom and The Thing have so much capability to be interesting. Because, you know, here, Ben Grimm, he wants to be rid of these powers. And then he eventually sort of comes to accept, you know, yeah, no, this is what I meant to do. I mean, there was an entire plot line, and I feel like it was a what if plot line that Marvel did. But it was like, all right, so what if Ben Grimm, you know, was cured? Ben Grimm saves the world because he's the only one that doesn't have superpowers. Because aliens show up and it's like, everybody gets superpowers. And cancer! You know, the cancer came later.
Jesus.
But Ben Grimm's like, nope, not going down that pathway again. No, sir. And he ends up being the only one capable of saving the world.
Wow.
Yeah, Ben Grimm is a legitimately interesting character, and they ruin it. Victor Von Doom is a legitimately interesting character, and they ruin it. Reed Richards, kind of an ass, so okay. Johnny Storm, all right. Sue Storm, okay. Yeah, no, those three, they're all right. You've got so much capability here, and nobody has done this correctly, which is to go at it, you know, sort of the family film. Because there's not enough action. Oh, it won't sell. Well, it's going to sell better than this crap.
Well, see, look at this. Fox mandated reshoots after they were finished with the initial shooting.
Wow.
Which Josh Trank has gone on record to say if he had
his way,
his original vision of it, it would not have been anything like it is.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to have seen that cut.
No, I would. I'd love to see that too. But unfortunately, it'll probably never see the light of day because 20th Century Fox, they're still upset about losing Star Wars, and they want to try and keep as many properties as they can.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, they got X-Men, which, truth is, they've kind of hit a good stride with it, but what are they going to do after Apocalypse?
I mean, you know, Hugh Jackman's already said, I'm not playing Wolverine anymore.
Yeah. So what are they going to do?
I mean, and Wolverine does kind of tie everything together a little bit, so... I don't know. This...
It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
I mean, sure, X-Men kind of hit its stride, but there are so many problems with that series.
There are.
So many problems.
But at least the films are made in a way that are entertaining.
I mean, they're better than this. And, you know, don't even get me started on the Spider-Man franchise.
Oh, gosh.
Oh.
Such mishandling.
Ran it into the ground. Just right into the ground. Like, the first Spider-Man movie, all right. Second Spider-Man movie, I was actually really pleased with how they handled Octavius.
Yeah.
I was pleased with that. Mm-hmm. It was good. We don't talk about Spider-Man 3.
No.
I haven't seen The Amazing Spider-Man. I've heard it's good.
Oh, the first one's good.
Yeah.
It's another origin reboot story.
Yeah, and, you know, bringing in the Lizard, that's a bold choice, and I like it.
I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
the Lizard's a really cool character.
And then Amazing Spider-Man 2, the problem that they had there was trying to do too much.
Right.
Yet
You'd
again.
think they would have learned from Spider-Man 3.
No.
Apparently nobody has learned from Spider-Man 3.
Nobody learns.
Well, before this gets any further off the rails...
Yes, please end this.
Yeah, well,
end my suffering.
I think that's got it for this one. And hopefully you're like us and didn't actually go see that movie, and, well, this is all the exposure.
It'd be for the best.
This is all the exposure you really need.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is all the exposure to this movie you will ever have.
So, with that, we will end it here. Please, as always, check the description for our related content, and hopefully we will see you all back here very soon.